If you believe that getting on a plane to Colombia will save you from the transactional relationships you're used to back home, you are walking directly into a trap set by people who practice manipulation for generations. I've been thinking about something lately, and I can't make it make sense in my head. Every week, thousands of ordinary men board airplanes and fly thousands of miles to Medellin. They know about the stories, they know about the scams, and they know about the risks. So, why are they coming? And I don't think the answer is sex. I don't even think the answer is Colombia, to be honest with you. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that Medellin isn't really the story. And it's probably not the real reason for this channel, partially. Medellin is the symptom. Whatever's happening here started long before those guys ever bought a plane ticket. And this episode isn't really about Medellin. It's about us, as men. Now, before we get into this, if you're tired of people selling you fantasy, plenty of them here. And I think you're gonna... Now, before we get into this, if you're tired of people selling you fantasy, there's plenty of them on this platform, I think you're going to like where this channel's headed. So please join the rest of the elite humans that are already here and subscribe. If you like the video, please leave a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. I really appreciate it as well. We've got a lot to investigate. Let's start with this video.
So this woman was in a restaurant. She's looking around and all she sees other women. Nobody on a date. No man and woman on a date. Just women that, as she said, dating each other. So the commentary is that men don't want to be on dates anymore. They don't want to go out with women because it's a waste of time and money. So my question is, do men ever like going on a date? Do men like going on dates? They like going to restaurants and trying different foods and things like that. Is it something that they only did because women like to do it? Like if I'm going to get in a relationship and I say I want to go to a restaurant, am I making him do something that he doesn't want to do? A lot of men say they just rather stay home. But what do you guys think?
Now, you know what's really interesting here? I don't think she's asking the right question. The question isn't whether men like restaurants. I love restaurants. There's a reason I hang out at Philly Steaks. I love it there. Most guys I know love finding a great place to eat. We love sitting around the table for hours and laughing with our friends, breaking balls, having a great time. The difference is, when I'm there or when I'm with friends, I don't feel like I'm performing. I don't feel like I'm being evaluated. I don't feel like every word is being scored. The problem is dating stopped feeling like peace, and it started feeling like a performance, and it still does. And I think that's our first clue.
I'd rather pay a prostitute so she leaves when we're done, rather than sit here and put a bunch of money into a chick and then taking her out for nice dinners, buying her shit, and you get the same result in the end anyway. You're still paying for pussy.
I want you to listen carefully to what he just admitted. He isn't talking about women, he's talking about efficiency. So look at the language he's using. Time, money, effort, return on investments. That's not how people talk when they're looking for a connection. That's how people talk when they've stopped believing a connection is possible and everything becomes a transaction. This isn't success, it's surrender. And that's our second clue, I think.
Older men don't want older women. I have a hard time believing that older men genuinely see younger women and think, this is my romantic equal. Yeah. Like, I don't think you think that about a 22-year-old, sir. Winston, Charles. I agree. Think back if you can. Don't say anything out loud. Just think about what you were doing at 21. Don't say nothing. See, look at your face. Look at your face. You see what I'm talking about? You don't know yourself enough. You're naive. You're immature. You have no business dating somebody who can buy houses and...
Okay. Everybody that's watching this clip is probably trying to decide who's right here. But I don't think that's the interesting question. The interesting question is, why does dating sound like a business negotiation? One side is trading youth, the other side is trading security. But nobody's talking about the partnership part in between the two. Now, the thing is, nobody here is crazy. They're responding to the rules of the market they found themselves in. And unfortunately, that's another clue as to what's going on and why this is happening.
A lot of women don't want an average guy who works hard to provide for his family. They don't want to give up vacations, getting their hair and nails done, going to Pilates, and living that luxurious Instagram lifestyle. They don't want to sacrifice because they want it all, and this is actually feminism. Feminism is the I want it all mindset. She wants the man, the money, the career, to stay home and do whatever she wants. These women, they don't actually want to be a wife, and they don't want to sacrifice anything. It's not always glamorous, and it's definitely not the kind of stay-at-home influencer lifestyle that a lot of women are promoting on social media.
I like this one. Most people aren't this self-aware, and I appreciate it. But she is right, and this is where I think the internet's changed everything. It's convinced hundreds of millions of people that ordinary wasn't enough anymore. Average stopped feeling acceptable. Everybody started chasing extraordinary, and nothing else is going to matter. The perfect vacation, the perfect relationship, the perfect lifestyle, so I can put it all on Instagram. When everybody starts chasing extraordinary and stops going after ordinary, ordinary starts to feel like a failure. And that is dangerous, because attention started carrying more value than connection. That's the fourth clue.
Natural attention whores. They're using you for attention. They're using you for validation. They just use us. At the end of the day, she does not care about you. Look at Instagram. Look at all the girls like taking selfies and just you're there like liking all her photos. And you see all of these thirsty beta males dropping hundreds, even thousands of comments and just validating the shit out of this girl. And she never replies. And she never has any intention of replying or ever meeting any of these guys in real life. Why does she do that? She's doing that because you're supplying something to her. You're offering her some value, which is validation. That's what girls love. Okay, that's it. At the end of the day, she does not care about you. This includes your girl and your wife. She likely does not care about you specifically. She cares about what you can do for her and what you are doing for her. You happen to be providing at the time, at the current moment, whatever value you happen to be providing, whether it be financial value, you might be taking care of the kids while she's at work, you might be giving her sexual gratification. You're providing some value in her life to where you're keeping her.
Okay, this is the moment the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. The more I listen to it, the more I realize that he isn't describing dating anymore. He's describing a marketplace. And we aren't the product. Validation is the product. And attention's the currency. And loneliness? Loneliness is what keeps the whole machine running, the whole matchmaking machine running, the billion-dollar industry. Sit with that for a second. If somebody profits every time you feel inadequate, why would they ever want you to feel secure? Why would they ever want you to succeed? Now I think we're getting somewhere with this. We've basically spent the last 10 minutes here talking about women and dating. Let's spend 30 seconds talking about us, men. Sorry. Markets don't appear by accident. Markets learn. AI is a perfect example of this. AI doesn't just guess things, it learns. And the market does the same thing. The dating market does it too. Every dollar, every DM, every desperate attempt to buy her validation, every time that you give her validation for nothing, every time we reward the wrong behavior, the market adapted along the way. I know it's uncomfortable to hear, but it's also empowering a little bit. Because if people created this market, people can change it. Okay, so let's go back to the question we initially started with. Why are men willing to risk what Medellin has become over the last 5 years? I don't think they're chasing Colombian women per se. I think they're chasing hope. Hope that somewhere, somebody, anybody will appreciate them, will respect them, will choose them, and sorry to say, will see them. The problem is, hope can blind you just as easily as desperation can. And I've said this a million times. Changing countries doesn't change human nature. No matter where you go, there you are. It doesn't change anything but the scenery. Medellin has its own marketplace. It's got its own fantasies. It's got its own people trying to sell you shortcuts. The fantasy changes. The incentives don't. So if you're thinking about coming here, don't come looking for somebody to complete you, to complete your life. Build a life you're proud of first. And then find someone who wants to build something with you, something real. And one last thing. I know I'm going to hear shit about this, but I'm going to say it anyways because I don't care. Stop chasing the woman every other guy is chasing. The filters, the fake lips, the BBL, the fake tits, the Instagram lifestyle. If all you're chasing is attention, don't be surprised when attention is all you find. Find someone with her own purpose, her own friends, her own ambitions. Someone who's not going to hide you from their family, because that happens. That means that you're the product then. Look for somebody who's building something, not somebody who's looking for you to build something and for her to enjoy. Your odds of finding peace go up dramatically if you do this. Maybe the goal was never escaping Western dating. Maybe the goal was escaping the versions of yourself that believe your value depended on somebody else's approval. That guy, that's the one that gets manipulated. That's the guy who boards a plane thinking that geography is going to fix what his self-worth never could. And I'm going to murder a Rick James quote here and say that hope, it's one hell of a drug. See you guys next time.